Hey y'all. Well, like usual, I saw something, looked at it, started working on it. Didn't cut the camera on like an idiot. So, um, oh, took the door off. Couldn't get the pins out. Yeah, that's gonna be fun. So, um, just took it off and saw some stuff and was like, oh wow, I never noticed that before. Had little blemishes. So I just grabbed some 220. Hang on a second. There. Now you can see it. Still there, but had the little blemishes in the paint, and then that's water. So once I started and as you can tell, it goes down through the clear. But that's all we're doing. We're smoothing this out, and then we're going to put primer on it because, yeah, that's, just years and years of moving around. And I'm going to get you guys up on the stand here and show you and talk to you. Okay. I hope y'all can hear me, and the sand is not too bad. But if you're wondering why, because the paint does look really good on these, and if you're wondering why we're doing this, and we're taking all the panels down and just level blocking them instead of just like color sanding them, is because when I put all the fenders and doors and everything on the car, just years and years of just sunlight hitting them different and stuff being stored different, it wasn't the same color. All the panels were different, and you're not going to color sand that out. It needs to be resprayed. Plus, there's some dents in here, that we're just going to, it's just going to take a thin coat of, putty coat. Might take some Bondo, but it's just going to be a thin level just to block it out. But once you run, this is 220, and then it's an old piece. But once you rough it down, we go 400. I don't know. We might even do this at 220, and then just once we primer it, bring it to 400, and just get that really smooth base. So when that paint sticks to it, it's smooth as glass. And I think I've said on a earlier video that when we start color sanding, cutting and buffing, we're going like 2,000, 2,500 grit. We're just gonna make this sucker just try and make it ankle deep. The neck snapper say, "Wow, look at that." You know what I'm saying? When you put your finger on it, it feels like there's an inch of polish between your finger and the reflection. So we're gonna try. That's the one thing we can do. So we're just gonna do this for a little bit. It feels good to be out here in the shop. It's been a long time. And I'm not gonna stir up too much dust because I need to get plastic draped over everything and finish shutting everything off. But I'll get you guys in here and show you. See, well, yeah, I'm sure you can see that. There's a lip where when you're sanding, it's coming over, and there's a lip of paint before you get to the edge. So there's a valley in there. You can't see it with your naked eye, but boy, this blocker sure does. But then the more you go, she just all turns white and it disappears. I'm I know it's not very exciting to watch, but as you're sanding and looking at the color change, it's just fascinating. Plus, you got to do your cross hatching. Yeah, see, there's some issues down here on the corner. Oh, yeah. There's little dimples like that all over this panel. Not for long. As you can see, low spots, but those dimples cleaned up. Few of them went down through the paint, but all the rest of them is just, superficial. This is nothing. Like I said, a little glaze coat of Bondo. We're going to take care of that. A glaze coat of Bondo and finish sanding. Level this sucker right on out. It's late, y'all. I started this too late, but I'm going to go inside. Y'all have a good one. The wife is working on a project. Hey, y'all. Welcome back. I think as you can see, and probably in the bottom field of view, we're going to get back on this door. I'm going to flip this thing over real quick. Forgot to do a proper intro on this video as well. Oh, good thing to see. It's actually the original door. I'll get y'all in here and show you what we're dealing with on the flip side. I don't know if I'm going to scrape that tar board off. It's been there for so long and it's kind of doing its job. I don't think I'm going to mess with it. Need to put some on the other door, which makes me wonder if it's OG. This one's got some spots on it, but we're going to dive into that. And I think I even said on the last video, I apologize for the delay, but I think we have good reasoning. Here's one example. Here's another, and another, and I mean, what can we say? She's distracting. But no, like we were working on cleaning everything up, and trust me, she's instilled in my brain that when I'm finished, to start putting everything up at night, and she still helps me go that extra step further, because I think I even said in the last one, she got me this new light, and now we have to keep covering it up when we're done and wiping everything down, just because we're back into the sand and in the body work. And boy, oh boy, the dust, man. But after each session, I'll blow it out as good as we can. But then when you come back in later, the wind moving around, everything sort of resettles and stuff. So, it's just the nature of the beast. But before we close it in, we'll definitely be blowing it out, and hopefully we'll be done sanding, and we can have the plastic draped off to where everything is covered up. But all right, let's get on this sucker and get to sanding. Oh. All right. Safety rule number 17, 32. Oh, hold on. Let me show you. Let me show you the way what's all that? Oh, that's crap. We've got to get that crap out of there. Nah, it's just dirt and mess. Okay. So let me show you how this one, finished up. But this is where it is when I stopped. So looks pretty good. I wiped it down. So this is, as you can see, this is where those dimples were. And they are all but gone. So, yeah, we are going to have to do a little bit of stuff. But, I forgot to get in there. I'll do that. But this is how this all right here. Ooh, I think I need to go back. I need to go back over that again. Do another bit of crosshatch on that. Again, we're just roughing it up. I'm sure we'll be into it. Need to get the DA. I need to get one of those mini orbitable, yes, those, not that big gigantic thing. So that'll be next tool on my list. But all right, back on the stand, flip it, let's go. Hang on, I'll get y'all in the spot there. See, that's what I'm there. Turn and flip it. And you see, oh, that gun. Look at her. Trains come. Cut the microphone on. Trains coming. I mean, are you surprised? I'm not in the least. Wife's drilling. Trains coming. Dogs and cats living together. Mass hysteria. Notice them holes ain't near as bad as they are on them panels. But I think I even showed y'all in the channels and stuff. We got some rust to clean up in there. We'll get it dealt with. I realized it's monotonous just standing there watching me. So I left that one going and cut this one off. But just went over it with some 150, and then right there toward the end, some of the real roughness, I had to hit it down with 80, and it's all smoothed up now. I think I am going to leave that stuff in there just to keep the tarboard on it. As you can tell, it did not get to the very edge. It's getting late, but just wanted to wrap this up and show you guys the little blibs and blurbs are not rust. They're just stuff in the paint. And we just keep blocking it down. High bill to take care of that. Now the stuff that's in the channel is, so I got to put some OSPO on that. But hang on just a second. I'll get you on the stand and we'll close this out. I don't know why. Call me silly or nothing, but I always like to have that wheel, one of the wheels in the shot, because at least you get the whole mind image of what I'm trying to do with the vehicle and stuff. So, but I was wondering, do you guys care about the inside? Do you guys care about the seeing the time lapse footage of me sand? Because I know it is kind of monotonous, and I try and cut the parts off of it where like this camera's still rolling, but I'll be sanding in my back, or as everything is obstructing the view of the piece I'm working on. So, somebody drop me a comment. I mean, nobody comments on these damn things, so I'm just doing what I kind of want anyway. But I really appreciate the views. I do see y'all watching and everything. I do check the analytics, and as I said, I know I do a terrible job of promoting this thing, but we're we're going to take some time after projects are finished, hopefully, and dedicate some energies towards that, as we work on this as well. More live streams, trying, just trying different things. The Starlink is really helping out, and I hope it gets, with the higher quality of, I don't guess what do you call it? It's not 4K. I can't film. That is too much data, and it just took, even with Starlink, it took a long time to try and upload it. So I cut it back a little bit. That was one thing I wanted to ask. Like, if anybody watching has a YouTube channel or films a lot of stuff and edits a lot of stuff, what do you do with the raw footage and it's just freaking gobs and gobs of data. And I don't want to go up on the cloud. I've never trusted it. And, back in the day, you used to be able to film something and put it on a DVD, but you film something in, what is it? Ultra HD, 30 frames a second. And if it's a 30-minute video, I mean, that's like 50 gigs or something like that. That's a massive amount of data, and then you start chopping them down and form one video. Yeah, that's fine. But you still have all those 5 and 6 hours of raw footage at that data size. And it's becoming crazy to film on the phone and the spare camera and the external hard drive and the computer hard drive. And it's just like I'm constantly compressing stuff and funneling stuff. And, I was just wondering if anybody had any ideas other than, uh, going and buying several million 3.5 floppy drive discs. The A drive discs. You youngsters have no idea what I'm talking about. It literally looks like somebody 3D printed the save icon, because back in the day, that's what we used to have. That was all we had. We didn't have CDs, nothing before them little 3.5s. You had the 5 1/4, and that's why they called them floppy disks, because they were literally floppy. Before those, they kind of looked like an old record player. Then they were very floppy, and they were slow. The wind is not slow. But yeah, the old Commodore 64s and stuff like that. That's where all this stuff started. Been messing around with them ever since. The Tandy 64. Radio Shack, man. God, I miss Radio Shack. Man, somebody needs to bring that store back. But anyway, you guys, it's late. Thanks again for watching. I appreciate it. Y'all catch me on the next one. We'll get these other doors up in here, and then after that, we're going to start working on the underside of the front fenders. Get up in here. Just progress to make progress. All right, y'all. Thanks for watching. I appreciate it. I'm Jimmy. It's not your garage. I'll see y'all on the next one. Y'all take care.